Hello, folks, and hope you're all well. And we are at the finale of the build. Just to quickly summarize, I still have about $100 left to pay on the kit, but it's done since I got it way back on my birthday, February 15th. Uh, and thank you to those who have been watching and commenting on said videos. It's much appreciated. Again, the biggest thing I could use with the channel right now is the watch time. So go back, watch a bunch of videos for me or anything else. That would be much appreciated. With that said, let's get onto a summarization of what you would need for the kit specifically. So again, it's from Solo Music. It's the reverse headstock strat kit. It's a B stock, so it's got lower value because it's got finishing flaws in it, or there's flaws on it somewhere. And so beyond that, what do you need to put the kit together? Okay, besides finishing it, here's what basically you're going to end up needing. And I'm missing one item. First up, we'll say what the one item is. You will need a star head screwdriver, possibly two sizes. You will also need one soldering iron and solder, because you will have to make 3 solder connections during assembly of the kit to connect the 2 ground wires and jack, some form of a wrench to put the tuners onto the headstock. Maybe in the case, not exactly, you don't need a needle nose style plier like this, because it's not exactly an ideal thing for that. But an additional pair of like needle nose, you could grab the edges of the springs to pull them onto the tremolo once you have the tremolo in place. And of course, you're going to need some type of finish. So again, people have issues with duplicate color products, but I have to say, out of all the things that I've used, tung oil, Birchwood Casey's True Oil, what else have I used now? Wipe on poly. I've used about 5 or 6 different like finishes, and I have to say this Duplicolor clear acrylic enamel goes on really nice, dries in about 20 minutes. It's not very toxic whatsoever, gives a nice clear finish. And they do have a semi-gloss version of this. This one is a gloss. And to do this specific kit, it took me about 2 of these, so about $40 Canadian, so about 20-30 US for 2 cans. These are the 340 gram cans. And I actually still have a little bit left in another can, or the second can. That's just if you want to try to do a thicker finish. I went for a very light finish on this guitar to seal it. But the chips in back there, I actually finished the neck on that with the little bit that was left over. So with that said, let's finally move on to the reveal of the guitar. And will this kit give you a guitar to play? everything is there to give you a guitar to play. Your mileage may vary in actually if it's a playable instrument, assuming if you bought the full full grade version of it, you would get a playable instrument out of it. And also, again, depends on your varying degree of guitar building, upgrading, assembly, which I've had quite a few years of doing so. So, you've seen the preview photos of the acrylic pens I used over it. So, let's finally reveal, as I've titled it, the Hippycaster. So, first up, back of the headstock, back of the neck, back of the body. I've put my signature and username in here and the date when this was done. So this is about 2 coats of the Duplicolor acrylic that I've done on here. So that was the back and the back of the neck. So let's turn around to the headstock. There is the front with the handwritten Hippycaster, tuners and string trees installed. Pickguard installed, trim installed. There is the one major reason why it was discounted, because of that flaw there on the front. And we will lastly go around, or attempt to go around the sides, and you can see I did change up the pattern on the sides a little bit. Just because I didn't think the other pattern was a very good pattern, or didn't look great. It didn't provide enough separation. So let's go over some stuff here. Okay, as we'll try to do this. The strings, for the most part, other than up by the string trees, have lined up correctly. They're spaced right, so the bridge is not bad. In regards to spacing, it's set up with a 12-inch radius as per the fingerboard. Fret height at the 12th, I did get it to the minimum specs of 1.5 millimeter on the 6th string, 1 millimeter on the 1 string. I did additionally so spec wise, I haven't raised the pickups yet other than how they are, and I noticed the bridge pickups a little bit out of spec. So anyways, physically the guitar is together. Physically the guitar does play, but there is an issue. And of course, big thing with the issues, and if you're not that understanding about guitars, you won't know what to do. So let's and there we have our issue. if you pluck the G hard enough, if you just do it lightly, you don't hear it. But hard, you get the droning, and the droning is actually coming from up at the nut, because if you actually so a little bit of scratchiness there. So anyways, there is the first major issue with the guitar in itself. The G string on the nut has some type of improper cut, so I'll have to fix that before I can actually give this a sound demo. Go over anything to be aware of in regards to this. So first off, I would say the frets themselves didn't need a level, but the outer edges of the frets were actually a little protruding. The bridge is obviously cheap. Let me turn it the proper way for you to see. The bridge is a cheap bridge. These cheap saddles, and unfortunately, to get, as you can see here, I had to jack the hell out of these saddles to get the strings even to the height that they were. There is a slight, again, slight crack in the fingerboard around that position, going towards the tail, which isn't a big thing. All the screws are actually good quality screws in this kit. The loaded pickguard in itself, ceramic magnets with the ceramic bar along the bottom. It's basically your El Cheapo Chinese kind of wiring. The three-way switch has a nice solid clicky feel to it and does work, picks up everything. But again, it's daughter board. It's not quality. I haven't checked the pots. The pots were the mini pots, so output jack is fine. The strap and buttons are fine. Here's one of the issues with this is, besides where the string tree actually lines up, the tuners themselves are, some of them are super tight, some of them are super loose. So like this one's loose to turn, this one's loose to turn, this one's semi hard to turn, this one's fairly hard to turn, this one's fairly hard to turn, and this one's super loose to turn. What else? Another issue I ran into with this, and this is the reason why I didn't put the cover on the back of this, and we'll see if you can see right there. The trim screws actually protrude through the back of the trim recess. Not a major amount, but definitely enough that if it was left straight like this, it would be an issue. So there is the Solo Music B stock reverse headstock guitar assembled into my Hippycaster themed instrument. Once I get the G string harmonic issue dealt with on the nut, I will finally give it a sound sample. And basically what you get in the kit is everything you have here, and that was ultimately what I wanted to see, was that if everything you got in the kit actually gave you enough to put together and play the guitar. And for the most part, yes, the strings even are relatively good strings. Even though I bought the additional bridge and the additional strings, I don't know yet if I will actually do a bridge upgrade, a bridge upgrade or tuner upgrade. Mind you though, the tuners definitely need to be upgraded to something better. That is, if I want to make this into an actual more playable guitar, but I think for the most part I might. We'll see how the pickups sound. I've only given them an initial listen. So with that said, thank you so much for watching this final video. Thank you again for the support through my own videos and my moderating on various channels that I still do moderate for. Again, I will lastly say this will give you probably just below a grade of like the Squier Affinity series. You probably, if you didn't want to mess around with assembling the guitar and finish it and such, I definitely would say go for a Squier Affinity series Stratocaster. Otherwise, if you want to make your own instrument, these kits from Solo Music are pretty good value, especially if you can get the good ones and not buy the B stocks. But if you're looking to work on an instrument, explore finishes, do setups and whatnot, then a kit like this is perfect. That said, hope everyone is well, and take care, and I will catch you later. Bye for now.